Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of the Mark of a God campaign. Thank you so much to Super Andiness for deciding to raid into our, well, quite interesting Thursday night. Also, if you look at the screen, you will see all these mouths moving. Those are our players in a Discord call. And that was organized by Andy's lovely artwork and our editor, Night Owl, who is also a player in our game. Both of them are streamers. Please check them out. They helped us create this. But yeah, you'll see those mouths moving. I don't know if they're talking about me or not. I wonder what they're saying. Better not be anything bad. But anyway, welcome everyone. We usually have variety nonsense on this channel. But Thursdays are D&D days. It'll never not be. You can pry D&D from my cold tiefling hand. But before we get a bit too dramatic, let's go ahead and greet everyone here. Winnie Mitchie, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate you so much. 21 months. What? Thank you so much. I appreciate you enabling our nonsense. Hello, South Apple. Hello, Diz and Wolf. It is so good to see you. Andy, it's so good to see you. It was so much fun playing Undertale with y'all. I cannot wait for the next time. Hello, Torn. Also, hello, Trevin. No, it's not yet. The church does come and play, though. I'm glad you asked. Also, welcome to our D&D nights. Osen, don't tell people how long it's been since you pooped. We have new people. Druzies, thank you so much for gifting a subscription to someone named I Touch Myself with Barbecue Sauce. We really appreciate the support, Druzies. Thanks. Hello, Autumn. Thank you so much for giving Andy that shout out. We absolutely love Andy over here. Hello, Angel. Hey, Dylan. It's so good to see y'all, even though you're pooping in my chat. Who raised you? Oh my gosh. A Tarrasque mini. Ooh. That the concept of a Tarrasque mini is very ironic in that Tarrasques are not mini. But anyway, I digress. If this is your first night to our D&D streams, they're a bit different. Every other day I talk with chat a lot, I interact a ton. But on Thursdays, audio belongs to the players. We will be in chat typing away, but if you say something and we don't respond verbally, it's because that is reserved to the storytelling. Hey, Lux, you're in a bar. Ooh, drink something for me, girl. Someone type that to Lux. Tell her to drink for me. But anyway, oh gosh, dang it, Dylan. Also, hi, Asaria. If this is your first time here, a lot of these folks are streamers. These are the party members. And also, if you would like to see any of the past... Oh gosh, I hope I spelled this right. I did not spell that right. What is that command? We added a new command and I don't know it. We have a VOD channel where you can see previous episodes of the show. We've just started a new chapter, so it shouldn't be too hard. Also, we do a recap at the start every single time. But anyway, without further ado, let us join the lovely party of the Phoenix Squadron. I sure hope they're not saying weird stuff.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay,
Hi.
so I'm just saying that waffles are technically pancakes with abs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
They're
hi, Psyche.
Waff abs. They're
Waff abs?
Wrong.
What in the...
Wabbles?
Wabbles?
Yeah.
Why is that
They're
worse?
swole.
What?
They're swole pancakes. They're like swole.
Mhm.
Ooh, give me your syrup.
You know,
Yeah.
if our DM decides to TPK us,
syrup.
I'm gonna be okay with it. You know what? I'm good. We've had a good run. If we all die, it's fine, you know?
Yeah.
Don't be mad at the swole abs. The swole waffle abs.
So,
They got They got a 40 pack down there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god! If you would please go ahead and introduce your little gremlin selves.
Okay.
Also, real quick, Cupid Heart, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate you. That's a cute name. All right, take it away.
Oh, am I at the top today? Oh, I know.
You
Okay.
are.
No, Bevan. Okay. Hi. How is everybody? How are we doing? Good to see y'all. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you being here, and I love. This is my favorite day of the week. It has been for months.
Hell
and
yeah.
I can't wait to do whatever the hell we're about to do. My name is Diz. I play Luya down there, that dashing fellow with the little wisp of hair in his face, who's got a very serious voice and is ready to possibly go to war. I don't know what's going on today, but either way, I'm scared. But you can catch me over at twitch.tv/Dizcam, and we hang out in the dive and play video games. Take it away, Michi.
I'm just gonna say this because I know that we were all thinking it, but this just confirms that Diz is not used to. Anyways, I'm not trying to deviate too much. Hello, I am Witty Michi. I do things. I am you, our bard of chaos. Yup.
Yup.
That's me. It's it's fine. I too am not familiar with being, on top as well. It's okay. We don't worry about it.
I swear to God.
Maybe Gray might be familiar with the concept. Gray?
Sure, what concept are we familiar with? But hi, I'm Gray Gnarl. You can find me over at twitch.tv/GrayNarl whenever I get the chance to stream. I play a whole random assortment of games that haven't been popular in like the last 5 years, but they're games I never got to finish, and it's fun. I play words, sorry. Hi. Much like my namesake, I play the gray-skinned tiefling Cultus Blashur. He is our resident fighter, leader of the Phoenix Squadron, and all-around badass. Yeah. I managed to get cool one-liners off as often as I can. And yeah, that's kind of all you need to know right now. So, Nighty, it is your turn.
Hi, I'm NetOwl35. I sometimes stream at that Twitch link that's now in chat because of Mitchie. And yeah, I play Kofine, half-elf ranger, who kinda got kidnapped by Mew, much like I got kidnapped by Mitchie in real life. It's becoming a thing, and I'm not sure how to feel about it, but yeah. Go ahead, Psyche.
Oh my god, nothing concerning is happening over here at all. Everyone is happy and fine. Hello everyone, my name is PsycheSiren. Good job, you've already found me. We also upload all these episodes over on a VOD channel as well. You can find me on YouTube, PsycheSiren. I play Colette, who is very much a disaster, but she tries to heal preemptively. If all the villains are dead, they can't hurt you. So her method works and everything is fine.
I am Teeth of the Whitener, otherwise known as Teeth Whitener. You may have heard of me if you have ever brushed your teeth.
What the hell? I swear to God.
I'm the DM. You can find me wherever books are sold. And this is my campaign, our campaign, the Mark of the God campaign, one of two similar campaigns, specifically the Phoenix Squadron campaign. This is Chapter 4, The Child and Stranger of Heaven, Risha. Episode 2, The Stormshield, Part 2. And before I get into the session, we'll let our resident historian give his recap of last week.
Alrighty. So, last week was the eve of the new year. We had preparations to make before we set off to war in Riche to defend the city of Risha. We still had the Raven in our custody, so Colette and Colas brought him in to be thrown into the jail cell and to be tried for his crimes at a later date. Colette rushed into the jail cell to have one last conversation with the Raven before we departed. She offered him an icon of Lucius with some departing words. On the way out, she found that the jail keeper, the warden, was making a gesture that worried her a bit, but she decided to let it be. After which she joined up with Corvin, haggling with Kyrell to buy multiple magical spell scrolls. Mew goes about collecting various goods to make traps and defenses, also preparing what I believe became to be called the Lechaport cocktail. Definitely not a Molotov. She bought a pair of gloves for Luya, as he has the habit of going into chamber pots. We then all met up at the Three Acts. Some shenanigans happened amongst trying to get both Corvin and Kofin to go and celebrate. As the day went by, Colas went and trained he trained a collection of soldiers who had volunteered along with Ulmus and Feywin to help give them a little bit of a fighting chance before going into the war. Later that evening, celebrations were had. We met a character named Ramus. He is a bard. He seems to have some sort of history or knowledge of Colas that Colas himself was unaware of. And as the night drew to a close, we were met with Agatha waking with a shriek, and a booming voice came out of her body that was not her own. It tells that the Raven has escaped confinement, the Tamp we brought back to power. We rushed to the jailhouse to find the warden released him because he is a believer in the death god, the Raven. And that is where we left off. So, Teeth, without any further ado.
Yes. So, I will begin with my recap of the previous set, or I should say, with my not recap, it's kind of an epigraph, the beginning of the story. The Mylene subcontinent collided with the main continent of Antalos some 5,000 years ago. The god of conquest, Mylene, began a war against the god of time, Anthos. Their mounts, the continents, then waged an ancient war with each other, lasting centuries and sometimes even several centuries. This culminated with the outright collision of the two land masses. Thus rose the Mylene Mountains from the convergence, forever separating the two peoples, both literally and metaphorically. The Mylenians and their descendants, though sometimes under the same banner as the Anthalans, hold the other in utter contempt, and the feeling, it is said, has always been mutual. Words of Andarii. The Raven has fled to God's nowhere. The thought has left those of you who witnessed it cold and nervous. The bird would surely strike again, but where? When? And most importantly, whom would he strike? The unease you feel lingers with you, as do the last wisps of darkness from the long night before. It is almost 7th bell before the sky begins to brighten. Once again, the sky above is a dreary shade of gray, and the sun is nowhere in sight. The air is thick with anticipation and a growing sense of dread. In your hearts, you know a great many of the young men and women you bring with you on your journey to Risha may not return to their homes. And when you return to this place, what state will you find the town? So, with that, what do you wish to do?
We had already woke up like from the night, right? From the bar and all of that. I forget where we're at. I apologize.
Yeah, there was a day in between. So
Okay,
we
that's right.
celebrated New Year's. Then we all headed back and slept it all off. And we had a day to prepare. And then
that's
the
right.
night of that day is when we discovered that the Raven had escaped.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. We're like right after him. We're
Yeah,
all standing
we're
there.
all just
Still in
standing.
the snow.
Oh. So
But if I remember correctly, Coldus was filled with rage because the Raven had escaped.
Yep. I wasn't happy either. I remember that.
I knew we should have killed him. We should have put him down right when we had him.
Agreed.
I'm so sorry. I thought it would be right to bring him to justice here. I didn't think.
No, it's happening. Mew is sleepwalking.
Oh.
She didn't
Oh.
fully wake up. In fact, she's probably leaning like against Colette, just like nodding off. Injustice and poop
Mew,
situation.
you're having a bad dream. Let's get you back.
Ah,
We'll talk in the morning.
it's already morning. And she opens her eyes, looks around. Oh, what happened here?
The Raven got away.
He flew the coop.
The brevity is appreciated, Mew, but this is no light circumstance. A deadly serial killer who hunts soldiers is back out in the wild before a war begins.
Where's this
Oh.
jailer? Where's the jailer?
Oh,
Where's the man that let him go? Is he still in there?
I believe he was groveling in the snow, praising his would-be god.
Waste of time. We need to go. We don't have any more time for this foolishness. We all agreed. It's all our fault. It's not just Colette. We all
We
agreed to
couldn't
keep him
have known.
alive.
Exactly. We couldn't have known that the jailer would be sympathetic.
I don't know if the jailer was sympathetic, or rather if his mind was altered to be based on previous beliefs.
Either way, he's a fool. And we need to go. We need to stop him before he hunts our soldiers.
Wait. I I know we all want to hunt him down and we all want to have justice, but we have a duty to a city.
She's right. We can't, as much as it pains me, we can't delay setting out and joining the army. Every day we waste every moment we waste is another one closer to the fall of the city.
It makes sense to me that that's where he would go. If he's looking to stop the war, our side of it at least, then we would be able to catch him at our soldiers. So, we need to go.
I'll go to Faywin and Olmus. I'll tell them to move the timetable, start waking everyone up.
I have a question.
Yes, Mew.
He likes to kill soldiers, right?
Yes.
So why don't we just stay with the soldiers?
I don't think that was initially the plan, but it's looking more and more like that's our best outcome. We travel with caravan.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to like us very much. But he might be
She like slowly looks at Colette.
looking for kindred spirit.
And she like slowly looks away.
You never know.
At the very least, if he wants to kill us, we would make perfect bait. Quote unquote.
What was that? Why did you look at Colette? What is going
Listen.
on?
Everyone that looks at her obviously thinks she's very attractive. Look at those horns.
Mew!
That's not what that was. You looked at her when you were talking about the raven.
Yeah, because I think he might have a crush on her.
We could use this. If he tries to return for her. How close were you with the raven? I saw you chittering in the night. How close did you get to him, Colette?
I only spoke of... Well, he said he was inhabited by a god, so... We only spoke of gods.
And what did you tell him?
Oh, about the glory of Lucius, of course.
Seems shaky at best.
Ooh, do you want to roll? Do you want to roll to see if you can get more info out? Because y'all don't know about, all those interrogations. If you want to roll.
I don't believe you, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the problem. What should I roll to? Teeth, what should I do?
You would roll an insight check.
Insight. Insight would be... I have wisdom. Crap. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Where's my dice? Roll, here we go. 14 plus... It's wisdom, right?
Yes.
14, so 16.
Okay. And well, I guess it depends. I'm not going to ask whether you're lying or not, but you would roll either persuasion, which would be, trying to convince them of the truth of your words, or whatever you call it, or deception. Yeah.
Which of those uses charisma?
They both use charisma.
Deception.
Okay.
Oh, do they both?
They both use charisma.
I'll use persuasion because it's
Well,
not.
No. Are you
Fine.
lying or telling the truth? I'm not
Okay.
asking you to. I'm not asking you which
Deception.
is which.
Fine, it's deception.
It's just gonna straight
Hey, you
lie to
told me.
us. Okay.
That is a 17 plus my wisdom modifier.
No, plus
Charisma, I
your
mean.
charisma, and if you are proficient in it, your proficiency bonus.
Let's see. I don't know if Colette is good at deception. I'm not proficient in it, but it is charisma, which I have
Yes.
a +4 in.
Yes.
So it would be a total of 21.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You believe, or I should say, whether or not she is telling the truth, it doesn't seem to matter. The sincerity of her words has gotten through to you, and you back off.
Okay. Well, I guess we need to hunt him down the old-fashioned way then. But as me, this is where we're sitting now, guys. We have Colette lying to us. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there.
You've heard the knights.
Hey, Diz, there's plenty of people lying to us.
Yeah.
Fair, that's fair.
This is a drug addiction none of us have picked up on.
I know.
And Kophine
Kophine
has
is-
literally lied in front of the party.
Seriously.
Kophine is nothing but secrets.
Yeah, and you know what? I did mention that I was leaning into this when we talked to when I talked to Mew. I'm like, he's over here doing this, she's over here doing that. He walks off in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to catch on to you all as how I'm kind of feeling this, because it's kind of obvious some of the things you guys are doing.
I don't know what you're talking about. Mew's an open book.
No, I was talking to you about them.
Yeah.
You don't know. You were I was not worried about you.
His
Yeah.
suspicions of us.
Oh my god. Oh,
No,
Nighty.
I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. No. You first.
Well, Nighty, what were you saying?
Yeah.
I was saying that we don't have to worry about Kophine.
Like
Yeah.
heck, we do.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
What
guys,
is Kophine?
Oh my god.
A
A
coffee
miserable
cake.
little pile of secrets.
She is.
Now, everyone, if you would look at the stream overlay, the right side of the characters all have some sort of secret. The left side, not so much.
We are the secret side. Oh my god, I didn't even plan that.
It'll be fine.
Because all of our names have C, you can
We're
even
not-
be C.
Oh my god, don't.
like tricky.
No.
Secret
No.
with a C. The secret.
Nothing to worry about. Don't worry.
We should put them all in a shade or shadow, each and one of them, one of the little liars.
It'll be.
Fine.
We just. Everyone is different. We just gotta respect it.
And technically, Mew is in on some of the secrets with Colette, because her
Oh, yeah.
and Kophine,
Yeah.
were there for the interrogations, even though they didn't hear. They were there.
Oh my god, there's another Nighty.
So many secrets.
The secret. I hate it.
The secret squad. Oh, you guys are bad. I hate it.
So anyway, you believe
I hate
me. Deal with it.
Yep.
Deal with it, loser.
Deal with it, loser.
But yes, we only spoke of gods, and I told him his life would be better if he followed Lucius, and well, I don't think he took my advice.
I'm sorry, I have one more thing to say about that. I apologize. I'm sorry, but I just heard in Colette's voice, "Get in, loser. We're lying to our friends.
You didn't lose over going shopping.
We're going shopping and lying to everyone about it." That's so good.
Oh
Okay,
my
go ahead.
god,
Sorry.
I love this. But yeah, yes, that's all that was. But I agree with Mew's idea that we should travel with the soldiers. So we better get started.
Agreed. I'll go off and wake Olmus and Faywin. I will see you within next hour, 2 hours.
Alright, where would you like us to
Alright.
meet?
Meet in the town square. That's where we've been doing our training for the last 2 days.
Alright, we'll go pack. See you in 2 hours.
And then he runs off in a huff.
And
I was
we...
waiting for.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
I would assume we would go back to the house and start packing up our belongings and checking on Aggie and, before we head out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Colette is gonna go to Aggie's room.
Okay.
How is she looking? Is she awake? Is she passed out?
She's passed out.
Okay. Colette's going to use her cleric mumbo jumbo fancy pants to determine her well-being. if she's just tired, or if we should take her to a hospital in this world.
That would be a medicine check.
Yes, that's what we would call it. Medicine check. Thank you. I forgot.
Technical terms.
Not very good at this cleric thing. That is a 16.
Okay. She seems, or should say her breath is heavy, or should say is labored, but not, or should say, but she's not rasping or anything. She is unconscious, but she doesn't, or should say, but if you were to listen to her heart, you would notice that it is beating consistently. Although although it is racing a little bit. She is probably in some state of alarm or shock that will at some point wear off. But you surmise, based upon the events that led to the departure of the Raven, the freeing of the Raven, I should say, that it's likely that the divine nature of the awakening that she experienced likely caused her some sort of mortal and immortal disconnect.
Jeez.
Oh, that's concerning. Colette,
But you don't know if she'll wake up anytime soon, but she's not in any kind of immediate danger.
okay. Colette's just gonna pull her covers back over her and get a warm washcloth and put it on her forehead. Put some water next to the nightstand for when she gets up. Just like little things,
I'm gonna head back home, start packing and making sure weapons are ready. But on the way, I wanted to stop at the magic shop and see if there's any healing things I could grab, potion-y things like that.
Yes, potions of healing are 50 gold each. Potions of greater healing, I believe, are
Didn't you say 200?
200, yeah. And anything above that, you probably can't afford.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say.
Wow, don't pretty woman us. Jeez, you don't know what we can afford.
Actually, I do.
I mean, he is the one who gives us all of our money. He is our sugar daddy.
I'm saying it. Didn't you say last episode to call you DM daddy, and I hated it?
You said,
Something like
you
that.
said something like dungeon daddy.
It was so cursed.
Oh, really quick then, I got a question about the gold, because we had I think I have the totals from that last haul we got from the fight in the tents and the camp, but I don't think I have our split up money.
You mean the intense fight?
Yes. Intense.
I'm sorry.
What is it with you lately?
I don't know.
I hate these things.
I had that written down. Let me see if I can find it.
She's dad joking on her own channel now, not just ours, guys.
I blame going to bed on time. I don't like what's becoming of me.
So I had 1,800 gold for all of us, if I was right, if I remember that right.
Oh, because I did the splits for everybody.
Yeah, but I didn't get to write it down. I'm sorry. I'm a bad.
It's somewhere here. It's somewhere in the twins channel. Let me find it.
Oh.
Yeah. Da.
I just want to know what I'm playing with so I can order and buy things really quick and then be done. In the Phoenix channel?
Yeah. Each player gets 166 copper pieces, 1,500 silver pieces, 300 gold pieces, and 20 plat.
300 gold pieces. Okay. Okay, so that's 9. I have 945. Okay. So,
Platinum, right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to buy 3 greater healing and 6 of the regular healing potions just so I have them.
Okay.
Okay, 6. And that takes me down to, oh no, am I mathing right now? I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm
This
doing this on
game,
stream.
it does this to you. It makes you use math.
Oh my god, why? Okay.
It tricks you into math with pretty unicorns and
2
dragons.
plus 2. Oh. Hold on. Minus. Okay, and then that gives me, it leaves me 200 and something, 250, I think. Is that right? I think I just
Sure.
wrote that up. Sure, 250. Okay, cool. I probably just did that wrong. Okay, thank you. Sorry. That's all I really needed, and then I'm gonna head back home.
Okay, anyone else?
Teeth, would you say that Cullis knows where Olmus and Faywin live?
You know where Faywin lives because Faywin was the sister of one of the guys, and you went to visit her house because you were doing an investigation into their disappearance.
Gotcha. Well,
Ulmus, you may know, but at the very least, Faywin would know where he lives.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I go to Faywin's first, knock on the door, and then probably a few times because she's probably asleep.
You open the door, and a tall man answers it. He has he has a sad expression on his face, but you recognize him as the carpenter, the man who was responsible for creating much of the furniture that is going to be in your house. He has when he answers the door, he has a sorrowful look on his face, but then he forces himself into a smile when he sees you. Ah, you must be here for my daughter.
I am indeed. Good evening, sir. General Coldest at your door. This is of urgent information that I need to speak with Faywin.
Yes, come in. Be quiet, though. My wife is still asleep.
Of course.
You go into his house, and it's modest, although not necessarily poor living conditions. Just an average sort of place with a fire lit to keep the house warm. The man sits in a chair that is finely crafted, as you might expect from the nature of his profession, and he reclines in it. He doesn't sit there. He goes and gets his daughter, and then he goes to his room and then closes the door and returns to whatever he was doing before he came to see you.
Faywin, I'm sorry for waking you at this hour, but something has happened that is of the utmost importance. We need to begin waking all of the army. We need to set out as early as we can.
She rubs the sleep from her eyes and says, "What happened? Is something the matter?"
The Raven has escaped captivity.
Just then, her eyes immediately widen. Where did he go?
We do not know. He vanished into the night. The jailer released him. We just found out shortly ago.
She places her hands over her mouth. I think I need a moment.
I understand it.
She
Very distressing.
frantically paces the floor in a rigid and almost studied manner. Like she read this is what adults are supposed to do when they are in distress, but she doesn't really know what to feel in this moment, except utter terror. What will we do about the men? She says as she continues pacing.
The squadron and I have already discussed this a little bit. If we can get the men moving, based on the Raven's previous patterns, it hunted the soldiers as they were moving. The soldiers were ill-equipped in the middle of a blizzard and without proper guidance. Myself and the squadron will be the guidance and the protection.
Yes, he was their guidance.
Exactly. If we are leading everyone, and if we are keeping tracks of all of our numbers regularly, if he attempts to attack anyone, or if he manages to get away with one of them, we will be able to track him, find him, and hopefully eliminate the threat, because we are not leaving him alive again.
She seems thoughtful. She places her hand on the mantle above the fire that's roaring still, the only sound in the room after her feet have stopped moving. Should we continue the mission?
Yes.
Have you discussed with the sergeant?
I have not yet. Your home was the first home I was aware of. I came here as quickly as I could. We need to wake Ole Miss. We need to get as many of the men and women, soldiers, we need to get them awoken and ready to go. We need to expedite the process.
She closes her eyes, rests her hands at her side. You're right. He's just as likely to attack us here as he is on the road.
Exactly.
Better to be prepared for his arrival than to sit like ducks waiting for our executions.
This has the added benefit. If we are on the road and if his attention is on us, it will not be on the civilians of the village.
That's true. Based on what Ulmus told me when he came back, the man seems to have a predilection for adults. And while the children would no doubt be spared, I can scarcely think of anything worse than coming into a town filled with old people and the infirm, as this town likely will be after all of the able-bodied people depart.
Exactly. If his focus is on us, those who can fight back against him, there will be better odds of eliminating him than if his focus is around here. So, prepare yourself, get dressed, Let us leave here and go wake the sergeant.
She grabs the sword that's sitting next to the mantelpiece. She, looking at it with a moment of melancholy, perhaps even pride, she takes the sword and goes into her room. Moments later, she emerges fully dressed and ready for the road ahead. She looks at you, eyes serious, with a hint of fear around the edges as you see the eyelids flicker a little bit, and rests a hand on the pommel of the sword.
Are you ready?
That's ready as I'll ever be.
Very well. Let us go. And then off into the night, onward to Ulmus, and then more or less same conversation.
Mm-hmm. On the way there, she says, or should say, on the way to the other soldiers' houses, you overhear her say to Ulmus, who has become something of a close friend of hers as the days have gone on. To be honest now, I hope that we find the bastard. I hope to give the sword to him myself.
You and about 6 other individuals. If
She
comes down to it.
She didn't realize that she had spoken so loudly, and averts her gaze from the road ahead and blushes slightly, seemingly embarrassed that she let her mask of seriousness drop.
Fear not. This is a situation where worry is not only warranted, it is needed. We need to be thinking about every possible solution, every possible way that he could be attacking us. We need to figure out the best plan of action. That worry is helping us think clearly. Do not fear, do not think of it as childish. You're doing what a leader must.
Perhaps, but I think I let a little bit too much of my own personal vendetta against the man slip into my conversation. I need to be objective about this.
In the way of vendettas, myself and the squadron have our own vendetta. We brought him here. If you would allow, I would very much like if one of us could eliminate him and right the wrong we made.
Yes, I think so. I need to let go of this.
So
What else? What else do y'all folks do?
Mew's just packing snacks for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More
she's-
potats.
More potats, more dried meat, in the form of sticks. Stuff like that.
Stick meat.
Oh my god.
Just easy things for everyone to eat while traveling.
Oh yeah, snip to a Slim Jim. Okay.
snip into a Slim Jim.
But yeah, that's what she's been doing.
Okie doke. Anyone else?
I just picture Corbin with an army of skeletons. Like, we march.
I
Yeah, I imagine Corbin's just reading up on all of his spell stuff and dealing with his skellies, the skelly boys.
Okie doke. Well, Kofine, are you doing anything before we leave?
No, nothing in particular. Just making sure she's ready to go.
Okay. You awaken from, or I should say, well, you're all awake, and you adventure, or I should say, your adventure begins in the manner most unexpected. You leave but long before the sun rises, and the edges of Rendickburg begin to fade from your sight as you pass by the ancient ruined walls that surrounded what was once a fortification. As you venture onto the nearby plains in the late night hour, you see old towers and or I should say, and even some leftover some old shields and spears that have since rotted and turned into rust. But you still see the remains of what was once a great battle many years ago. The plain you cross is called Waltrin Plain, where the rebel Valto made his last stand against the king Kolva miles 1,000 years ago. After his fall, he was banished into the Reflection, never to be seen again. The ruins of his old fortress are said to be found in the Feyrath Forest, and the village of Rendickburg was founded by a cabal of mages who sought to ensure that Valto would never escape. You pass one day without any significant events occurring. The sun rising in the east as you venture into the open plain ahead of you. The plain is massive, and before you were able to reach the end of the day, you determined that it would be good to take a night's rest after a long session of marching. You're not able to move as quickly as you once were, as you were guiding 50 young people, 50 individuals, young and old, through a winding and uneven plain into the east. So, night falls, or evening falls, and you've reached the end of where you can travel without having to hightail it. So do you want to keep going, or do you want to stop for a moment and relax?
Does it look like everybody needs to relax and stop? I'm just out of curiosity.
You've reached the point where if you go any further, you would have to risk exhaustion, and as well as all 50 people in the party.
It's probably best if we rest now, especially with a serial killer out there.
Yeah.
Agreed. We should keep multiple watches.
Yeah, we have skeletons set up around all around. We have forgive me, what is Faywin's rank?
She is a corporal, although to be honest, it's mostly because they had not yet determined rank before they departed.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll have the corporal and the sergeant also be taking like pair shifts in addition to our pair shifts as we're walking around.
Yes, you. As you rest, it seems that most of the soldiers, although they were frightened at first due to the news of a man who seems to exclusively hunt soldiers, being on the loose, their spirits have somewhat lifted, and they seem to be excited, even a bit rowdy, as they journey towards Risha, in hopes of supporting the war effort in defense against the Imperial menace.
I'm doing a head count. I want to make sure we haven't lost anybody.
No, all 48 of the individual, plus the two leaders are accounted for.
I'm walking amongst the crew and soldiers and just watching the rabble-rousers, making sure nothing gets too out of line, making sure people get back to their tents or whatever they're bedding, so that we can make it for the
seems to be
night.
causing any trouble. They're more just enjoying a moment of levity in the midst of a crisis.
Nice. Do we have beer?
I imagine some people would have brought beer.
My God.
I'm just wondering, you know? They would want a beer. You know, I don't blame them. It'll keep you warm at night.
It is cold, and you're marching through. I should say the sun is out today, but but there is still a thin sheet of snow on much of the grass. Although some of it has begun to develop pock marks in it, indicating that the sun has pierced through the icy sheet.
Yeah. I like the sound of that. Okay, so we waited out. Are we waiting it out for the night then, or how much time do we need? What does everybody look like?
Well, I mean, you would need a long rest,
Okay.
unless you wanted to keep going.
So we got to pitch the tents and make the camps and do all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to have a real
Good cooking.
rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say that there would be about a week of these before you get to Risha, so we're probably not going to stop for each and every one of them. More just to, take stock of what's going on that given day. If you want to say something long, or let me know, and we can certainly dwell there for a little bit.
Okay. I'm ready to roll with whenever you are.
All right. Does anything else have anything that they desire?
I am good.
Yeah, I think Caldus made sure we had everybody. That's the major thing.
So, did we end up finding drinks?
I mean, what do you mean finding drinks?
Like, do they have ale or like
Now look who wants a beer.
listen.
Yeah, I mean, yes, everyone has drinks if they want them.
Okay. Colette's just gonna grab like an ale and sit by the fire and pout,
I hear an incoming Mew moment.
No.
When
Humans.
you pout by the fire and you sit there with your drink and everything here just tastes so sweet. There's a murder on the loose and we're here today to fight the war. That's what I say. What?
You can't just sing about a murderer being loose.
A few of the men and the men and women surrounding you give you strange and uncomfortable looks as they hear this song.
My name is Mew and I don't know what I'm talking about.
You sit down. And Colette like reaches on Mew's shoulders and has her sit on the log next to her. Like just here, drink this, and just hands her the ale.
Yanks her loot.
Oh my God.
Luya walks by, grabs an ale as he walks by. Not one of your better tunes, Mew.
Your mic just got really quiet, or was that just me?
That was
But
just
I've had
you.
internet problems today. Is it bad?
It's.
Hold on, maybe it's just my
I think it's your thingy.
yeah. Stupid cats like mess with the
Okay.
mic, messed with the headphones. I mean,
Mew, you can't just be singing about murder.
Listen. No one ever takes me seriously, so I can sing about whatever I want.
Yes, but we're about to go off into war, and there is a serial killer on the loose. They may actually take it seriously tonight.
See, watch this. Sometimes potatoes are just potatoes, but sometimes potatoes rule your life.
Does she get the attention off of her, or are the soldiers still concerned?
Now they're just confused.
Okay, that's better.
I'll take confused.
Goodness.
What?
Just... And Colette, like...
Listen, I could sing about everyone becoming a man, but there's some regulations against that, okay?
No, Mew, no. I was just going to say I appreciate you lightening the mood. Well,
Oh.
trying to.
I don't want to scare the children, Mew.
Oh, wait, you're serious.
Most of them are little boy soldiers. They're not exactly men yet. You know?
Okay. Well, you know, I had a whole, like, spiel already about being swift as a coursing river and, you know, great typhoons and stuff like that are involved. But, like, I'm not really allowed to sing that. My dad says it's against the rules. So, I'm just... Something about me getting in trouble with some kind of law company or whatever. Since it's not really my song, it's fine. It's fine.
Luya has a point. They're not completely grown yet. Although, I have noticed that Caldus is training them the best he can. So, maybe there's hope after all. By the way, we are saying this like very hushed. I don't want the soldiers hearing this.
I know.
Okay.
I figured.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just yelling out loud. Look at these little idiots. No, I'm just kidding.
Please no. Please no.
What are they gonna do? Okay.
Oh my god. Why do you have that like drunk uncle at a barbecue energy? Like, look at these young kids. They don't know.
Yeah, popping a beer. You know.
Oh my god, no.
Diz, you said that like, look at these little idiots. Caldus comes over like full mama bear, just smacks you. No, these are my kids.
Like that.
You leave me and my child alone.
Never talk to me or my son and my son and my son and my daughter and my son and my son and my daughter and my son.
Yes.
Never again.
And then he gets to like the end where he's like, and that kid, I don't know who that is. Who
I
are
don't
you
know
here?
whose kid
Whose
that
kid
is.
is
Do you know
this?
whose kid is that?
Oh my
How did you
god.
show up? Is that kid crashing our barbecue? I
Yeah.
guess we're done for the night then. Yeah.
Okay, so you emerge and you begin another day's journey, again on the plane of, or I should say, of, once again upon the plane of Voltron. You continue to the east, and eventually you come across two different forests. One to the south and one to the north. Your right and your left, since you're traveling eastward, vaguely eastward. The forest to your left is known as the forest to your south is known as the Mekar Forest. It's mostly peaceful, and according to according to the soldiers, is apparently home to a small colony of gnomes who congregate there, seldom greeting visitors. They're far more interested in their experimentation. They have recently discovered the wonders of aetherite and have tinkered on it for some time after the mysterious substance's reappearance into the realms. The Klenner Forest, however, to the north, is a massive sprawl of monstrosities and evil, hugging the edge of the Ettenhugel and Orc country. The two forests, along with a third forest to the northeast, called Lenner, are part of a group of foliage known as the Triplets. They dominate the land to the south of Ettenhugel. I should say about the Klenner Forest, few who delve into its darkened groves emerge from them alive.
Sounds like a nice place.
Yeah.
Vacation spot.
And you find yourself sandwiched in between the two of them on either side of you by the time that the next day has passed.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not one for geography. Which way are we heading?
Reach was along the main road, pretty much due east of Rendickburg. So
We're going the right way. We just have to trod through. It'll be a while before we get there. You seen anything, Coldus?
is there anything of note to look into?
What do you mean?
Have we seen any signs of maybe people following us?
Yeah.
Well, it would be hard to tell you that because it should be mentioned that the roads that you travel are graced by occasional caravaneers, traveling merchants, and refugee carts. As you are traveling slower than most of them, they pass you, you don't pass them. But it would seem as though you are not alone on this road, but they're all likely headed in the same direction. And the off-roads that lead onto the main road, the forest pass, as it is known, is largely empty when you first leave Rendickburg, because most of the refugees have already fled. But as you get further and further along, you start to see more and more people getting onto the on-ramps, so to speak. It seems that a full migration has begun in earnest.
I'm just gonna do another head count, make sure none of our soldiers have been picked off in the middle of travel.
You come back with a total count of 49.
What?
49.
We had 50.
We had 50. I come up to the group. We have. I'll be hushed enough. I'll only include the colonel and the sergeant. Yeah.
The 50 includes those two.
Yeah, so we're down one. We're missing a troop.
The sergeant's eyes harden, and he begins asking everybody where they last, or should say, who's missing. And it would seem that, you frantically begin your search. Nobody seems to know who's missing. And as you have stopped for the night, you eventually come across a young man, couldn't be older than 15, among the, standing in line at a merchant's shop, seemingly interested in purchasing some food for the road.
Oh my god.
He stopped. What a jackass. We need to slap him in the head.
They're kids. They're.
Yeah,
The corporal's eyes harden on the boy. Richard. Yes, Faywin? He replies. Did you even think to announce your departure from the group? You had us all worried sick. You know that there's a killer on the loose, don't you? And everyone in line at the stop begins to look around frantically, and some of them begin to depart from the merchant's line. And the merchant gives you all a hard glare, and she says to Caldus, "Perhaps we should continue this conversation elsewhere."
yes, Richard, follow us. Now, Private.
Did you
Why,
laugh
you
at the
little-
word private?
It just
No, it wasn't private. I was laughing at his like cat-like tone.
Okay.
Come here, son. Grabs him by the ear.
Oh
You
my
know,
god.
Get your crap together. You know?
What seems to be the problem, General?
All right, I will explain this just one time. As you are aware, the Raven is out on the loose, and he primarily hunts soldiers. You are now a soldier. We have a full force of 50 individuals, not counting myself and my team, 50 of you from Rendikberg. Do you know what went through my mind when I did the head count and there were 49 individuals instead of our 50? Can you guess?
No, sir.
I imagined your head ripped from your body, your limbs strewn about the snow, and a message written in blood saying you can't protect them all. Does that sound terrifying?
I'm
He
terrified.
nods. He nods. His eyes a bit restless.
My boy, I am here. My team is here to protect you all. I cannot do that if you are not with the company, moving as a unit. So I'm going to ask you this one time. Please, do not break away without express permission from myself, the corporal, or the sergeant.
Yes,
I'll not
sir.
reprimand you any further. Go back with the company.
The corporal does chime in. Perhaps you won't, but I will have a word with him later. I think that somebody could use a few extra rounds of drills after we've settled for the night.
Good. And make sure it is within clear view and understanding of the other individuals. I want everyone to be on the same page.
Understood.
Do the rest of us hear this conversation?
I'm
Well,
not.
it depends on where they took the group.
I
That's
imagine
fair.
all of the our whole company. There are multiple like small setups of tents and campfires, and then we have our own. So I would have brought him to our specific area where we've set up. So you would if you are in the area, you would definitely hear this.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that upon hearing everything, Mew's just gonna be staring at Caldus with very concerned, wide eyes, like not saying anything, just kind of staring, like, what did you just say to the? And then she's slowly gonna look at Colette and say,
I thought we were supposed to be mindful of the children.
You know, I'm not one to step in on someone else's parenting.
uh-huh. And Mew's gonna pretend like she didn't see anything now.
Are you saying this in earshot of Caldus, or are you away from earshot?
Probably within earshot, honestly. Mew's not one to really care too much. She's just kind of like, what the? Like, it's very much a what the heck did I just witness situation.
He's gonna hear that and address both of you. My tactics may seem confusing, especially after what we decided with the being mindful of the young ones. But I wanted to get the point across that this individual is a threat, a major threat. I wanted Richard to understand that he is now a soldier. There are things that he needs to be mindful of. He's still young, but I was not much older than him when I became a soldier myself. He needs to learn these things in order to stay alive. And you saw what happened. You saw the trail of headless bodies. Ever since last night when we found the Raven had escaped, it's been going through my mind, seeing all these young, bright futures snuffed out amongst the snow, headless husks of their former lives. It's a vision I've seen quite often in training soldiers back home. It's a reality I've faced for a long time, and I don't want it to be that reality anymore. I want to stop this individual. So I apologize if my methods seem crass or brutal.
No, you're fine. It's fine.
So I guess we get moving again.
Do you take, or I should say it, night has fallen. Do you wish to take shifts?
Yes, we
Yeah,
are. We need to take shifts now, especially we've had a little scare.
I'll take a first shift with Corbin.
I'll take last shift. I'll be up bright and early.
Stick me wherever.
Okay. So, all of you go through the night without much difficulty. Do any of you wish to spend the night with your chosen companion and discuss anything?
I am
I'm a
totally
little
taking
torn.
my night with my companion. That would be my rapier.
Okay.
Colette would like to watch at the same time as Mew, because she does want to talk about something.
Okay. You can talk with me if you'd like.
Okay.
So remind me, what time was were Mew and Colette having their their turn.
Well, I know Diz is at the beginning, and Gray wanted to be towards the end, so
Okay.
I guess the middle somewhere.
You're in the middle. Okay. Begin.
So while they're at the fire, keeping an eye on things, Colette's gonna like shiftily look around to make sure everyone is asleep. Or at least they're not in earshot of people. Mew, that was a close call earlier. Luya almost...
Oh, I was gonna say Mew's just playing music that's calming to help some people sleep.
Mm-hmm. Luya almost put things together about the Raven and I.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't think anything was bad. Luya's always suspicious of everyone. This person might be lying. This person's always lying. This person's got a stick up their butt. He's a very suspicious man.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Are you-
I'm just okay.
Oh, for a second I thought you were gonna roll to hear or something. I saw your name light up and I was like, oh my god. Yes,
Roll to hear.
Okay, listen. Yes, I know Luya is a very suspicious person in all forms of the word, but he was onto something.
I mean, isn't everyone always on to something technically?
Maybe?
I mean, like, we didn't do anything wrong. We got information and everything like that. We just didn't tell anyone about our nighttime escapades, because what happens in ladies' night stays in ladies' night, you know? So, like...
So,
is it really bad?
you're right. We technically didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel better. Thank you, Mew.
No problem. Just try not to worry about it. Luya's always suspicious of everyone. This is fine. It's fine. I had a talk with him the other night, and it was very much, let everyone be who everyone wants to be, and we should just respect our differences. If you want to sleep with Magic Shop Guy, then you can sleep with Magic Shop Guy. And if Callis wants to sleep with a demigod, he can sleep with a demigod. And if you want to sleep with your god,
No, we
You
can't.
know,
No, we don't have to go into specific. Okay, you know what? Thank you. Great talk. Great, wonderful, fantastic talk. I feel so much better. All right. Good night, Mew. Let's go wake up the others.
okay, good night.
I should also mention, come to think of it, because I forgot to mention this. By the time that you leave in the morning, Agatha has awoken, and she said that she intended to join you all on your journey previously, and or I should say, and I think she seemed pretty intent on it, believing that even if she were to be in some kind of danger with the group, she would be far more danger back in Rendickburg.
Can we retcon that we brought her with us then?
Yeah,
Like
that was the
in
intention.
a wagon, because we forgot.
Yeah, you were supposed to come. She was supposed
Yeah.
to come along. She said she wanted to last week. I just forgot to mention that.
We put her on a wagon.
Yeah.
Or something.
Get
Yeah.
your ass on the
She
wagon.
can walk. She can walk.
At least she's on the wagon. That's better than Coldest. Oh, hey
Oh my
god.
She can walk,
I will remember.
so she'll be fine.
god.
I was drinking.
Oh my god.
I mean, Louis is the kind of guy who would always have a flask.
Yeah.
Agreed. I do. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I should. Dang it.
So the night is done.
Yes, indeed.
Oh no.
But yeah, it is. Seriously. So you begin your quest towards the east, southeast, and you eventually come to or I should say, the road becomes more and more clogged and traffic moves slower, reducing your speed to a fraction of what it once was, even as your group begins to eventually start passing some of the people that you may have seen previously. You eventually get to a fork in the road that says, this way to Nektvasa, which is a city that is, or a small town that seems to be something of a port.
Any of these people look familiar along the way? Does
No.
anything pop up?
Nothing other than people you might have seen traveling alongside. Risha looms ever nearer, and the road ahead is mostly uphill, slowing your pace even more.
We just need to keep pushing to Risha.
Okay. All right. So another day passes. The sun is now, or I should say, is now been in the sky for a solid 3 days. Although it is not dehydrating, you might, or I should say, some of you might be wishing that there was a bit more cloud cover to keep the sun's heat from hitting you so hard in the later afternoon hours. The road ahead is mostly just uphill, winding paths through, or I should say, through carved stone, and through the occasional carved stone, and quite a bit of paved roads, ever upward, heading towards the city of Risha. Over 6 more, or a total of 7 days time, you eventually reach at the edge of what is close to the city of Risha, and you come to rest near an old ruin.
Old ruin. Is there any way to tell what it is? Like, is it a dwarven, elven, like modern
Human.
construction? Human.
It's an an ancient human fortress, it would seem.
And this is like kind of the outskirts of what could be called the city line, yeah?
Yes, you're about a half a day's march from the city, or the actual city.
All right, and is it close to the end of the day?
Close to the end of the day, yes.
Yeah.
You're resting on top of a hill. In front of you is another large hill that looks a bit too high to crest after a day's march. So you decide to rest in this rest here. Nearby is an old ruin. Whether you choose to investigate that is up to you.
As a player,
I don't think we should all
want to
go.
investigate it.
I don't think we should all go, though.
Colette is gonna be curious about it.
I would mention this. As you have begun your journey, the day becomes more and more overcast, and it would seem that there is something of a storm brewing. Not a snowstorm, but a thunderstorm.
There's a storm coming.
Well, we do know the luck that a large group of soldiers has had with storms in the past. maybe occupying this old abandoned fort and setting up shop for the night might be beneficial.
You're right, it could offer more cover.
Shield from the storm, you could say.
Oh my god, that's the name of the episode! Oh no!
Everybody at home, you can take your drinks. He said the name of the episode in the episode. Congratulations.
Oh no! Yeah, I'm gonna drink.
Oh, he said the thing.
He said the thing! But yes, I agree. It seems it would make the most sense.
All right, soldiers, we're moving forward to that fort.
Okay. You all set up camp nearby. Not too far from you, another traveling bunch of caravans. These containing fairly wealthy merchants begin to pitch their tents across the way from you. They look on you, or I should say, they look on your group and seem to be a bit concerned due to the nature of what is coming. They have thus far tried to pretend that the war had not reached their front doors yet, but alas, here it is.
This is gonna be bad. I'm only a little worried.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
I'm a big fan of ruins. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Nothing good ever comes of ruins.
Well, we did find you in one, so...
My point made.
Oh, are you not a fan of our company, Luya?
Not a fan of ruins and what they tend to bring with them, which is usually attacks and death, magic and disease.
But in your case, it brought a valued member of the team. So they're not all bad.
Maybe. Wanders off. Get things ready.
The sun is on a downward slope heading toward the horizon when you begin to pitch your tents inside of the old ruin. It's very, well, for lack of a better term, old. Its towers have since fallen into a state of disrepair. The doors are beaten in. There should say the gates have been smashed. The portcullises have been taken off their hinges, and much of, or I should say, very little of it remains salvageable. There seems to be no sign of any kind of struggle or catapults, boulders or trebuchet boulders among the rubble. Seems to have fallen either into disrepair or something else may have destroyed it long ago.
Seems like a party town. It's a college town. So we set up for the night. Are we doing the watch thing? The same thing?
Definitely.
You're doing your count?
Yep.
Okay?
Are we missing anyone?
No one is missing.
Good.
Any signs of Raven Boy?
This time, no. Who's the first watch?
I'll
Let's
take
have-
first watch again.
Okay.
I
With
can
Cole-
take
like,
I
whatever.
can take middle again.
I'll take last again.
Okay, so Luya by himself, is that correct?
I don't think there's. Well, I guess I could go with Corvin if
Okay,
depending
so
on where you want to put him.
you and Corvin then, and you are atop the city walls, scanning the horizon, pacing. You're not able to get very far on these walls because much of them have collapsed, but you are able to hop across a few ledges gracefully and land, or I should say, and find a large strip of unbroken path that has been left intact mostly over the decades, centuries, probably not millennia, but long periods of time. And you pace back and forth. Corvin does some sort of misty step BS, and he appears at your side, looking back and forth, saying weird stuff with his skeleton friends.
That sounds about right. I figured he's always distracted, so I'm the one keeping eye. That's usually how I feel.
And Corvin has his skeletons patrolling the perimeter. Again, I forget. How many skeletons does he have, or do you know off the top of your head?
Is it 5?
I think it's 5.
I thought it was. I keep thinking it was 7. Let me see how many names I have.
Wait, don't you have all the
would
names
you
down?
like to know?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I knew this
I
was
have
coming.
their name.
Yeah, there's I think 8 of them.
Looks like I've
No, there's not 8 of them.
No, I've got 6 here. I've got Pork Rosso, Shuto, Lardon, Iberico, Electo, and Leandros.
What about Cicero and Comfy?
Cicero has met their
Yeah,
maker.
I thought Cicero was
Cicero
gone.
died. Oh, okay.
Huh.
I was unaware of Confi, so
I
I'll
have
add-
this written down.
I'm gonna say 6 because I'm pretty sure it's 6.
Yeah, so Pork Rosso, Shuto, Lardon, Iberico, Leandros, and Electo.
Yes. You go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception check.
Perceive what you perceive.
How we doing?
You didn't tell me what you rolled.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought because I heard him talking last. I didn't realize it was my role. I'm being a dumbass.
Hey, you're the.
It's your watch. It's okay.
It's your watch.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
What?
I was like,
What? Who are we
Do we
talking
need-
about?
do we need
I thought
a-
it was coldest. I'm dumb. Okay.
Oh, it's
yeah,
fine.
Here we go.
It's fine.
Okay. And oh, please, 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 please! I rolled a 16.
Roll a 16.
Perception is wisdom, so it's 17, 18.
Okay. Okay.
That's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad at all. In 1 second.
Perception.
goodness.
Who, me? Oh.
Well,
yeah, super perceptive.
Well, Corvin is too busy giving fake orders to his his skeleton friends.
Yeah, he's doing camp stuff.
Sure.
Sure.
I like imagining he's like mocking Caldus. Like, you do this drill, you do that drill.
Yeah, so you notice as you scan the horizon to the east, a huge, or I should say, the peaks of the mountains looming over the edge of the hill cresting the hill that you are about to crest. A gargantuan set of wings emerge, the tips of their feathers peeking just over the top.
Ooh. What? I don't understand. What are those? I don't get. What kind of birds?
A shrill, piercing cry echoes through the night sky, like that of an eagle, but deeper and more menacing.
Scraw! Oh no.
Corbin probably says something to the effect of, "Hey, who's making fun of my crow?"
Oh my god.
Okay. Does this look dangerous to me? I don't understand what.
Yes.
What these. They are. They're big badasses.
That's not. It's one thing.
Oh, it's one big one.
It emerges from the very tip, from the very edge of the horizon, and begins flying towards the camp.
Oh, then I'm gonna turn around and stop being an idiot and warn everyone immediately of this big scrawling bird that's gonna come. Probably go for the skeletons first, because don't they like bones and weird stuff?
It begins its descent and begins a dive bomb towards a pair of pacing soldiers.
Everyone, take cover! Take cover from above!
And roll for initiative.
Crap! We're fighting a bird. We're fighting a bird, y'all. I don't even have.
You said gargantuan wings.
So since we're actually almost towards the end of the session, I'm gonna ask that we roll initiative next week so we don't forget the placement.
I think that it would be fine to roll initiative, and then we could. I have a tracker.
Okay, as long as you're good with that, and then we'll end. I'm
afraid of the bird.
Oh, I hate this.
If this is what I think this is gonna be a fight.
I hate this.
9. Is this like a griffin-y thing?
I got
or something?
12. Do you want us to type it somewhere, or is this okay?
Just type it somewhere.
Type it in
just
the D&D Discord,
roll.
in the Twins, in the Phoenix
just-
channel.
okay.
In your turn order
Okay.
in Roll20, if you have that open, you can adjust that too. But if you don't have it open, Twins is fine.
Oh no.
You rolled so low.
Look who's going first!
Oh my God.
You and Kofi.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for another episode of Mark of a God. We just can't
Sorry,
catch a break. We just can't. We cannot. Thank you,
I
everyone.
wonder how many people this thing's gonna take away. Sorry, shutting up.
Oh my god. No, you can finish. You can finish.
No, it's gonna eat our kids.
No, our kids are gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine.
Because we're gonna
Fine.
knock this thing out of the air.
Scraw.
Yeah, we're gonna scrawl back. Anyway.
Counter straw.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh, my stars. You know, you think you have everything planned out. Think everything's gonna go okay. And then a giant demon bird just decides to fly out of nowhere and ruin your day. Well, who knows? Maybe things will turn out all right for us. Maybe. Have a lovely night, everyone. And we'll see you next week. And as always, may Lucius guide thee. Farewell!